All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we are live in full effect, and right here, right now, we actually have the one and only. This individual is such a talented individual, and definitely a force to be reckoned with within the hip hop community. We got the one and only Dremon right here, live on the line, man. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Just putting in work. I've been looking forward to this interview, man, for the past couple weeks. So it's definitely great to have you here on the 97.7 FM airwaves this evening.
Nice. Yeah. I'm excited to do this too. I've been waiting for it too, especially for where y'all at and what y'all doing here. And like you said, it's all about pushing and working and putting in the grind for sure. So, yeah.
But but also, man, I know you're a very busy guy, man. So I'm gonna dive right into this interview. But I want to take you back to the very beginning, man. And I have to ask, what actually made you decide to get into the music industry initially, man? Because you're such a natural at what you do.
I used to kind of follow my uncle around. He was an artist at the time, and he was doing music from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He went by Revelation, and I would just be following him around and like kind of digging on his passion and what he does. And I would be the dude with the camera, or not the dude, the kid with the camera, pretty much. So I was just always inspired to it. I've always loved music, and the music that you grew up on, which you're attached to, has a lot to do with your family and influences. And even just from then there, that's been something I've wanted to do.
And also, as well, man, in the year 2012, you actually released the LP titled Great Escape. I was wondering, what's the story behind that iconic album? Because I do remember as well that actually led to you actually getting connected with the manager of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, that was, 2012. Yeah, that was, I was pushing Great Escape, and honestly, at the time, I was like in between here. I was actually like working like at a restaurant and stuff, and in between, to fund the whole project for it here. But once I had the project, honestly, I was ready to leave there, and I did, and haven't looked back since. I pushed it locally. I met a few people, and then I met another gentleman who we work with them now by Stage Bad Weather, and we took a trip over there because Jimmy wanted to meet us. Jimmy Kang, VP of Wu-Tang Management, and we pretty much sold the project and sold enough units. I wish we would have marked him now, especially when you talk about numbers and stuff here. But we did enough to get ourselves known here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, locally, and to put myself on a different radar. Then we took the trip out here and met them. I got to meet some of the original members of Wu-Tang, the non-generals, kick freestyles and stuff, and hang out, meet, move to a few other people. And we were supposed to go for a week, but we ended up staying maybe almost 2 months. So it was a great time. It was a great time, and I learned a lot from Jimmy, learned the whole things for the game here, and that's kind of what led up to what's going on now.
And I have to ask, man, are you still actually managed by Jimmy, or or is that just something that was going on back then in 2012?
That was something going for now there, and technically how you want to put it, I was a kid back then here, so still a lot I had to learn and execute and put the two together in building the experience. But now I work with his label, Straight Up Entertainment, which is with the Orchard and Sony Music Group. So I work with them now, and I've always had a relationship with Jimmy. Like I said, a great guy, and I learned a lot from him here. So that's what I'm doing as far as that. But as far as management, I work with Gretchen Slaughter of Slaughter Entertainment here, really great manager, definitely pro for, women being in those positions and doing those things and handling business for sure. So that's who's managing me now, and I still work with Jimmy. It's all good for the network, and we just released the EP, which, I was talking with your social media page about it and telling y'all to check it out. And, y'all checked it out before I told you to, so I also want to appreciate y'all for listening and having me on the show and listening to the music.
And also, as well, man, in the year 2020, you were actually the Source magazine's People's Choice for top independent artists, man. I was wondering if you could tell our listeners a bit more about that, and of course, how does it feel to be recognized by one of the biggest magazines within the hip-hop community?
It's a blessing for sure. And definitely something here. The Source and XXL and all of those things, used to read those as kids. We used to collect those, especially if it was a certain artist, a certain celebrity on there. And it actually feels good here. And I think the part about it is for one, being from Albuquerque, New Mexico, but two, the process was that they had 250 artists. They went from 500, then they went from 250, then they went to 100, and then they went to 50, and then they only did a write-up on the top 22 here, and we landed at 11 here, and then they just released one now for artists, the same list for artists to watch and fall, and even with just doing the EP and doing all that, we're still sitting at the same spot on the list as far as 11 to 12 out of the whole world. So it's really good here. It's a good thing for us, and it kind of signifies what we're about to do going into 2022.
And I gotta say as well, man, congratulations on that as well. I know that congratulations is about a year and a half, a little late there, man, but that's actually a huge accomplishment just to be recognized by the source, man. So definitely congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And also, when we're actually on the topic of magazines and whatnot, man, you were actually a part of the movie The Perfect Pickup that actually got reviewed by Double XL, 20th Anniversary Edition, man. I was wondering if you could actually tell us a bit more about The Perfect Pickup, and of course, how did it feel to actually be featured in that monumental issue of Double XL magazine?
You know, that was a crazy one here because we already had it set up. I was running with the gentleman Eric Martinez at the time here. And of course, Sage Badweather, who was consulting me, and that's kind of what we were doing here. So what we did was we already had it going here, and I didn't know it was going to be the 20th anniversary for XXL here. So that was a real thing to be part of. That was for the song Gravity, produced by Mike Feet. It's one of my top songs to this day, honestly. And it all kind of happened at the same time here. Just from working opportunities, they align themselves like the stars do, or if you will. So Chad Rook is the director of it, and he's been on The Flash. He's been in so much movies here. And actually, he is out of, I believe he's out of Canada as well, where the production where they did that, Vancouver, I believe. So that was a cool thing to have a few songs in there in the movie and published. And it was, they say you got to invest in your dreams and do that, and there might be a time to where you're not getting paid at first. But that's when it kind of started to shift and change with doing all of that here. And I have the magazine posted up right now. Well, my mom does. She took it from me, but she has it, so it feels good.
And I gotta say as well, man, like it's hard to believe that it's been 20 years since Double XL started, man. It's I definitely remember actually picking up my first copy of that, man. Definitely a great magazine and a great read.
Yeah, no, it is, and it's cool because I have something of the song Gravity in it, and they did different ones because of the 20th anniversary for it here. So basically, I have myself in a magazine for not only XXL, but some of my favorite artists or rappers I like to listen to, and to be able to be in the same magazine with them, so that's a trip for me for sure.
And also, going back in the timeline a little bit, man, I have to ask about this album, because this is the album where I first actually discovered your music, man. And it was actually October 2015 where you actually released the phenomenal 12-track album titled The Music. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners the story behind that project, and of course, it is still available to actually be listened to today.
Yeah, it is. It is. After I switched over my distribution and doing stuff and started working with the new management and whatnot, I was able to put it back to the platforms and stuff for what it was. But that was the music. That was a process that kind of let me know what I'm doing, what I got to get into, and also what I need to get further. Because I recorded that with Scott Sinner. I had different producers. R.I.P. to Art I Hits. A really good friend of mine here who passed this past year. Scott Sinner did the engineering for it. I worked with Russ P on it. Nike Boy, which he's kind of doing some stuff now with alumni and all of them here. And that was the process to where I was, pretty much doing everything for it. And, I write my own lyrics. I record them, the business. And at the time I was moving, pretty much getting it done myself. I was back and forth between Albuquerque and Phoenix. It was just a real thing to where, I call it the music because that's what I've dedicated myself to. And when anybody thinks of me, that's one of the things they think about.
And I gotta say, my favorite song off that record is always gonna be "Do My Thing," man. That's always my go-to when I listen to that record.
Yeah, that's the one. That one's produced by Art I Hits, who I just shouted out for you here. The record just has good energy. It has really, really good energy. It's like it goes in the club, of course, but it gets you hyped, it gets you motivated, it feels things. Because everybody wants to do their thing, honestly, no matter what they're doing here. So that's definitely a universal thing here. That's dope. You check that out, man.
And also, August 6th of 2021, you actually released your most recent project titled The EP. I was wondering if you can actually shed some light on this brand new project. And of course, do you actually have any hard copies available for the old school listeners that really do still love that hard copy format?
Yeah, we do. That's the EP. We just dropped it in August. The songs that we're pushing now, Say Less, Do It For Me, Wax, Advance, In the Bag, and What I Came to Do. And those are just good energy here. I got to do it with Michael Ashby. He was he used to, or I don't know about used to, but he's doing some of the tracking and did some of the tracking for Cardi B's Bodak Yellow and stuff here. So congratulations to that man for them just going diamond this past year as well. Got to work with Mike C for the record Vibe. Just really good company, really good quality, really good company, and the songs are really energetic. And I can't wait to perform those for Rebel Rock Fest, September 25th in Orlando, Florida.
And also as well, man, I have to ask this because I do want to say first and foremost, I do know IMDb sometimes does have incorrect information, so I want to say that first and foremost. But I noticed as well that you actually played a bodyguard in the movie Busy Day. I was wondering, can you tell us a bit more about that, and what made you decide to venture into the acting part of the entertainment industry?
For one, with New Mexico, some people say it's not necessarily the standard for music industry, so you might need to go somewhere else possibly. But as far as New Mexico, when it comes to film here, we're like at least the top three always with Atlanta and Los Angeles here. So lots of movies, lots of projects there. It's definitely something that funds the city, creates jobs for people and stuff like that. So New Mexico, it's huge for film. Albuquerque Studios, they made the deal with Netflix, to where, where now it's Netflix Studios. And, it's one of those things there. So as far as other people here and what you can kind of do and being multi-talented, if you will, so some of the people who was helping with the music at the time, they kind of suggested it, so I just did it anyways. And that's where I got to meet, Tiny Lister, Debo. A lot of people call him whatever it was. So I was his bodyguard for it with blonde hair looking crazy. But that's kind of how we got into it and just doing it. And it was always been something I've done on the side and in between, just because it's out there. And that kind of gave me a really good perspective from, like, artistry, from camera to artist to dialogue to the script, kind of, if you will, or lyrics. So it definitely helped me, and it does it. And I'm getting back into it, too, honestly.
And also, as well, as you actually said a few moments ago, man, that you actually are going to be performing September 25th, and that's actually going to be in Orlando, Florida, at the Central Florida Fairgrounds and Exposition Park. I was wondering, what can our listeners actually expect from this performance? And, of course, where can we actually snag ourselves some last-minute tickets so we can actually come out and see the one and only Dremon perform?
So September 25th for Rebel Rock Fest here. I'll be going on like an hour before Wu-Tang does on the main stage. This will be my first sold-out show that I get to participate in, you know what I mean? Not necessarily my own here, but I'm excited about it. They just sold out for all of their 3-day passes. Rebel Rock Fest is going down from the 25th through 27th, or 26th, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's going to be for the whole weekend, from pretty much Thursday to Sunday. So 4 days of music here. Majority of rock, there's some hip-hop there. It's, it's Florida, the beach, the water's there, everything. So it's going to be really good vibes there. You can check it out at rebelrockfest.com. You can get your tickets there. You should get your tickets now, because they're pretty much, I think they might have, honestly, nothing, because they're sold out. So I hope y'all, I'll try to help y'all out. But yeah, so y'all check it out. It's going to be good. I'll be performing some of the songs off the EP. I'll be doing Do My Thing. It's ironic you said that. And I'm excited about it.
Hey, I guess if people really want a ticket that bad enough, they can actually go deal with the scalpers, man. But you got to watch out for some of those people.
Yeah, you got to deal with the ones outside.
But I got to say, though, man, it must be pretty cool to actually be able to open up for the Wu-Tang Clan, man, on a sold-out stage. I had the opportunity to see them live at Blues Fest in Ottawa, Ontario back in 2018, man. And I got to say, a Wu-Tang Clan crowd is just phenomenal, man. So it's definitely going to be a dope night.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a dope night, different genres of music, different vibes there. But the most important thing is, like, really dope listeners and people who enjoy it. And, between COVID and all this other stuff here, they're going to be excited to be able to go to a show and to do that. So it's going to be an event to remember for sure.
But I got to ask, man, other than your brand new EP that you're promoting, and of course, this amazing sold-out performance, what is next for yourself, Dremon, man? Is there anything we happen to miss? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on the 97.7 FM Canadian airwaves this evening.
Well, y'all definitely check out secondnature.com, where we have the merch. If you guys are supporting, get a feeling of music here. Next project coming up for it. We're doing the EP right now, but the next one is Second Nature, so we're working on that now. You'll definitely see an increase in incline as an artist and the music and expanding on it. And I can't wait to bring it to y'all. But yeah, y'all check out the EP. It's available everywhere. Y'all check out Say Less, Do It For Me, Wax, Vibe, and What I Came To Do. There's so much good records, I'm thinking of off the top right now. So Y'all definitely check that out. I appreciate y'all having me here and tuning in as well, and especially across the world here. Support from across the world is definitely dope.
But also, man, before we part ways, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves, just like a chance to give, like, shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to, but most of all, man, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything you got going on if they're not already doing so.
Yeah, definitely. Y'all can follow me at Dre Mizzy. That's my handle for all social media that I'm on, DREMIZZIE. Shout out to Rod Dollar. Shout out to Jimmy Kang, Straight Up Entertainment. Slaughter Entertainment Group, my manager Gretchen. Shout out Alpha 5, Lori. Shout out Rebel Rock Fest. Everybody's going to be in it. You know, shout out you guys, 97.7 for having me here, and, you know, the music.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, man, definitely good luck on that performance, man. I know you don't need it, but I just wanted to share that way. You know what I mean? Thank you again for just giving us a bit of your time this evening, and hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon, man. But for now, definitely have yourself a wonderful night.
Yeah, definitely. You have a wonderful night, too. Thank you for having me, man. And we're going to kill at the show. Appreciate y'all.
Most definitely, man. Thank you.
Thank you.